sports enjoy cut like a knife. Hot stove league and full chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning tales unfold. Memories and news retold. Tune in B1039. Curry's voice and life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively blue reds. Hearts fly.
And it's, I thought that had the tag. Okay, it's brought to you, of course, by Big Rapids Tire and by the Daggett Gilbert Funeral Home and by M&M Landscaping and Snow Plowing. And more landscaping than snow plowing right about now. And also by M&M Collision and Hooked at Curries. We want to thank them as well as we, and by Zots Bar and Grill. Got to remember Roxanne and Doug and everybody there. And I think I got everybody. So, and M&M Collision Center. I think we got everybody.
All right, could you get me going, though, by playing that introduction again? Because that always makes me smile. I hear that. It's really fun.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. We can talk about that song.
Yeah, we can do that.
I like that with Brian Miller on his side.
That's
you know, the greatest gift in life is to put somebody, give somebody a laughter and a smile. And Bob, I appreciate that introduction.
There you go.
I just love it. It's just simple things in life make you smile, doesn't it?
Well, we know you like the whole Mayberry RFD vibe here. So.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Yeah,
so we get together backwards.
Every so often, if I act like I'm getting a little depressed and during this discussion, my interview here with Erica Beisel here this morning, just play that little bit and that'll make me laugh. I'm looking forward to this because, the Morley Stanwood girls were in here with the coach there, Bob Raven. I think the world of him. Somebody said, boy, you sure bragged him up enough. Well, he deserves a lot more than that. He's done a lot. He's very effective in what he does down there in Morley Stanwood. But anyway, they asked me, my question to me was, why do you do this? And I probably said it too long, but I really do it because I really love people, and I love to see people accomplish things in life. And those girls down there in Morley Stanwood, like I said, 10 years from now, they're going to look back and say, wow, we accomplished quite a bit there, didn't we? And Bob Raven was a big part of it. So that being said, a little bit touched on yesterday about the sports complex coming to Big Rapids. Hopefully we'll get it. That's going to be a big impact economically, but more of an impact on people's lives. And it'll build character, and teamwork. And then you have this shot putter, Erica Beisel, here from Big Rapids, goes to Grand Valley, and we were just talking before the show. She's been there 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Unbelievable. She went to St. Mary's School from what grade to what grade?
Preschool to 8th grade.
Yeah, and it seems like it was just yesterday, because I remember your mother and dad really got involved over there with the after
hour with all
stuff.
my siblings.
Yeah, and you come from a great family. Well, let's start in preschool. Do you remember who your preschool teacher was?
Oh, Miss Quant. Yes, I do.
Oh, that shows her age, doesn't it? Yeah, she was a great preschool teacher there for many, many years. Do you remember who your 8th grade teacher was?
Miss Cooley and Miss Mathewson.
Great
we had
teachers.
the double, so we would transition classes.
You might just want to pull that mic a little bit closer to you there.
Still there. You hear all right, or should you want to repeat that?
No, we're good. Okay.
Well, what was St. Mary's like to you?
Educational, for sure. I remember leaving there and just having a very well-rounded education, and then going into high school, it was a culture shock for sure, just because the way we were brought up was so different. But yeah, it was very educational for sure.
They're tough.
Yes, very.
They're tough. But when end results, would you have it any other way? Would you have rather gone?
No,
to
I like
school?
the discipline that I learned from St. Mary's. So. Discipline.
And so did that discipline help you in sports?
I would say so, yeah. That's one of the things I was thinking about it on the way here. One of my things that my current coaches talk about now is the difference between discipline and motivation, and that shows what kind of athlete you are. I'd say I'm an athlete who has discipline over motivation, because a lot of the times I don't want to be there or show up, or I don't have the energy that day. but I had the discipline to show up and do it, and I think that's something that was instilled for me from a very young age and from St. Mary's. So.
Yeah, that's cool. So then you went to high school. Well, first of all, did you play sports in St. Mary's then?
I did. I did basketball and volleyball.
You did basketball and volleyball, and you liked both of those?
I liked them. I couldn't say I was very good at them, but I liked it. No.
No?
Not my...
You're tall.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yep. I was good at volleyball, but yeah, just going into high school wasn't my thing.
So you went in the 9th grade. Who saw you, or you saw who, that determined you going to track? Who took you into that?
So my first year, my sister loves when I tell this story, but she kind of pushed me into it. She didn't want to be alone. I think it was her junior year, I believe, and all her friends had graduated. And she's like, come on, just come play with me or come compete with me. And I was like, fine, okay, whatever. And after my sophomore year, I really wanted to quit. I didn't like it. Wasn't successful. I wasn't throwing very far. I was like, man, this sucks. But I had some great coaches, the Selzers, who they pushed me a lot. They got me in the weight room. They got me summer training and competing and training in the winter. So it turned into a full-time thing. I kind of quit basketball and volleyball and moved right into track all year round.
So it was a year-round sport for you then? For
me, yeah. Into my junior, senior year, it was year-round for me.
All right, let's talk about your siblings. I know your mother and dad real well. You can expand on what influence they had on you and the confidence that they helped you with. I know your mother is a very confident person.
Yes.
Very outgoing.
Yep.
Very sure of herself. Did you get that from your mother then?
Yes. Growing up, we were taught to be very independent kids. They were very tough on us from a very young age, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I think going into my adult years now, I kind of look back at that, and it's taught me a lot, and it's taught me a lot of independence.
How many siblings do you have then?
I have 3 older siblings, so I'm the youngest.
Oh, you have 3 older ones?
Yeah, 2 older brothers, 1 sister.
2 older. I know the one brother.
Luke, probably.
Luke real well.
Yeah.
And the other one's name is?
Matthew.
Where's he at now?
He lives out in Mount Pleasant with his fiance. He works at, I forget what it's called. Hayward, I think.
Okay. Is he older than Luke then?
Yeah, he's 29, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then your sister's who?
Celia. Celia Beisel.
And
she
where's
works
she
at
at?
the St. Mary's now. She's the lead preschool teacher.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Took
Lord.
that
She's
over.
got Noxie then.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I know her. I didn't know that was your sister, though.
Yep.
Huh. I don't get over there enough, I guess.
She's finishing up her master's at at Ferris.
So all 3 of you kids went, or 4 of you went to St. Mary's?
Yep, all at the same time, too. So
now, where's
that
your
was an
mother and dad
expensive bill.
from? I know it was. That's what we're going to get to. What?
South Bend area and Niles, Michigan.
Why do you think they picked St. Mary's? I mean, when they came to Big Rapids, how many years ago was that? Were you all born in Big Rapids?
No, we were all born in Indiana. So we all moved up here when I think I was a year old. And my mom got a job at Ferris. She's a dental hygienist. So moved up here. My dad was a stay-at-home dad. And so that was kind of fun growing up, being outside, running around barefoot as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did they pick St. Mary's? Why do you think?
I don't really know. I know they wanted private school just because they didn't want public school.
Okay.
And they wanted us to just,
Because that was a big price. I mean,
it was very expensive. My dad at the time, I think he was working the janitorial position there too.
Okay.
So they were getting a little bit off in tuition, I believe.
Yeah, made it work, didn't they?
Yep.
So, that's why I tell people, man, you can make it work if you want it to work. And now look at it. What was it all about? What was the purpose?
Yeah.
It turned out pretty good.
Turned out pretty good. I tell my dad that often.
Yeah.
I was like, looking back, I don't know if I would have wanted to go anywhere else. Like, I'm grateful. As hard and tough as the experience was, I was grateful for it.
Now, if you have children, which someday we all hope you do, God willing, would you send them to St. Mary's?
Maybe. Depends what my husband's outlook on that is. But
right.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I know that's right. But I just think that they do produce a lot of winners out of that school, and a lot of kids that go on and do a lot of good for America, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. So high school years, you touched on Seltzers, which I think the world of those 2 people really have dedicated themselves to helping America.
100%,
real
yes.
Good character and youth. So you went in there and your sister was already in track?
Oh, yeah. Yep. She was a junior.
And what did she do in track?
Shot put, discus. We both weren't very good.
You weren't?
No. I think I first threw like 27 or 28 feet, and then by my sophomore year, I think I was up to like 34, 35, which wasn't horrible, but it was technique horrible, head bent down, didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
What turned you around?
Getting into the weight room, and the Selzers just kind of took me under their wing, and they taught me all they knew, and it helped having a little bit of confidence in my corner. Just say, hey, you got this. Like, don't even think about what else is going on. Just get in the ring and do what you got to do. So
you turned yourself around in your sophomore or junior year?
End of my sophomore year, going into my junior year. I was full on ready to quit after my sophomore year.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't like it. I wasn't good. Didn't really like the coaches, and
why didn't you quit then?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
Because the Selzers became the head coaches, and it just kind of took off from there. Started doing indoor track meets and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, started winning. Winning was fun. Winning was nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I was getting closer to breaking the school records, and I was like, oh, I could really do this. And then going to the indoor meets, I met my current coach, Matt Conley. I believe it was my junior year, and I looked like absolute dog poo-poo, and he kind of came up to me and he's like, I don't know if you know this or not, but you could be really good at this. And I was like, really? Me? Like, no. At the time, I was thinking, like, I'm going to go in the military, I'm going to go do firefighting, something like that, because I hated school, and he kind of talked me out of it, so.
Where'd he see you at a meet?
Indoor track meets, yeah.
The Grand Valley coach was there?
Yep. He came up and I shook his hand, and he was like, oh, you're a strong kid. And I'm like, yeah, I sure am. But
wow.
Yeah, so it kind of all took off from there. But
he's one of the better coaches in that field, isn't he?
He is one of the best coaches in the nation. So
right.
Yeah.
So when he saw in you was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty good feeling.
So right after that, you decide that you are good?
Yeah, I think a few weeks later, and a couple conversations with my coaches, they were like, you could do this. Like, you could do this at the next level. Like, you don't know a whole lot right now, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're kind of untapped, essentially, and coaches look for that because it's kind of raw, right? It's something they can mold and fix and turn into what they want and what they see as successful. And so I was like, okay, and just kind of was like, yeah, I'll go if they give me free tuition. So
yeah. So mold, you said they mold you into it. What did they teach you a different technique on how to throw the disc?
Yeah, so in high school, I was doing what we call the country shuffle. This is a little step back shuffle, nothing major. My senior year, I went to the glide for shot put. Discus, I think I was doing half turns at the time, nothing special. Eventually doing full rotation. But when I went into college, my coach was like, we're going to make you a rotational shot putter. I'm like, what? I don't know how to do that. Like, this is going to take forever. And it took me a good 3 years to figure it out. And then my junior year, I finally started, like, things started clicking. What we were doing in the weight room was translating into practice and vice versa and stuff like that. So then I really had a takeoff year where I won an indoor national championship and then 2 outdoor championships and then qualified for the trials. So it was a very, very big year. My junior year was a lot of figuring things out and learning as I go, but yeah.
Competition, did you have a lot of that in Grand Valley for your spot?
Yeah, I think going into it, I never believed that, like, I was the best or I was really good. I was always kind of looking up to everybody else around me and not comparing myself, but, like, I want to be better than that person because they're really good. And I think that's the thing that drove me to be really successful is I want to be better than them, but I don't, like, I'm not confident that I am the best. Like, I know that they're really, really good, but I want to be better. And we had a lot of that really successful athletes.
Talking about confidence, but somebody must have really showed you how to gain confidence. How important
I'm still learning it.
Yeah.
I struggle with it often.
Okay.
After last year, I had a really rough indoor season shot put. Fouled out of nationals. Had a really good indoor season, but I fouled out of nationals, and it kind of just crushed me mentally because I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'm not good. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not built for it. And I ended up having to go through a lot of conversations with sports psychologists and stuff like that, just trying to, like, rewire my brain to think, like, no, I've done this before. I can do it again. Like, I do this every day. You know, I'm training for this moment. And I've kind of had to, like, remember to have fun with it, because if you're not having fun, then it's crumbling.
Right.
So yeah, it's one of the biggest things, like, with my confidence is I train for this every day. Like, it's no different than being in the practice ring, than being in the competition ring, and just knowing that, like, I do this every day, so why can't I do it today? So,
you know, I'm 72 years old, and it's easier said than done, but stress gets to all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Stress is good to have a little bit of stress, but sometimes I hear and talk to people about, don't worry, it's not going to happen. Don't worry, because all it's going to do is give you an ulcer. Don't worry, because it's just going to upset your mind and you're not going to focus right. Well, that's easier said than done.
100%.
And you only can make that change, But I think stress is a motivator, if you put it in the positive direction,
Yes.
And that's kind of tough to do sometime. And I mean, even for me, it is. I mean, I've been in business my whole life, and I stress out about the customer. I want to make sure that customer's all right, and sports is kind of the same thing. You get stressed a lot, or
I get stressed out about
that?
what the next step is, what the next move is. In this sport, nothing's a guarantee, and it's a very individualized sport. So it's like it's always on you. The pressure's always on you. The expectation is always on you.
Right.
So that can be very stressful. But just knowing that, like, I've put myself in the best position. My coaches have put me in the best position, and just trying to, like you said, just kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
But I mean, it's always there. It's always lingering. But yeah, I had a lot of stress the last couple weeks finishing my college season, and I'm graduating and figuring out my professional life and what that's going to look like, because I want to do this full time. I want to, the goal is 2028 Olympics and World Championships and stuff like that. So, like, how do I put myself in the best position possible? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to connect with to make that happen? So, the last couple of weeks, it's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of connecting, a lot of conversations. So,
Coach probably helped you out a lot, eh?
yeah, big time. We had an athlete last year who went to Indoor Worlds and placed fourth, and his coach helped him sign with an agent, and so I was like, okay, that's what I need to do next year. And so my coaches were a big help in figuring out what that looked like and what those steps looked like to get me to that point. So,
all right, so when you were in high school, how far did you throw it?
By my senior year, I threw 46 feet and some change, and then in the discus, I threw 150-ish feet, I believe. So it was pretty.
How
pretty
heavy
good.
is that?
The shot put is 4 kilograms, so 8 pounds, and the discus is a 1K, so 1 pound.
So the shot put is 8 pounds, and how far did you throw it?
46 feet.
Holy God, that's quite. Was that a high school record then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was.
I beat the high school record by, I think, to 10 feet maybe.
Who had that for you?
I don't remember her name, but it had been held for a while.
So you went to college. Do you have Grand Valley's record now, eh?
Yeah, I have both of the shot put and the discus record, as well as both Division II national records. So.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Right from St. Mary's School.
Yep.
So how far did you throw it in college then?
I just threw the shot put 59 feet. I was just a couple centimeters away from breaking 60, so 1826 meters is what I threw for shot put. And then in discus, I threw 66, 68, which is 210 or 12 feet, I believe.
So you broke the records down there.
Yep.
And like when you went to a meet in college, they congratulate you when you beat them.
The teams?
Yeah, the other team, like.
A lot of people don't talk to me sometimes because they're just intimidated.
Right.
But I do talk to a lot of people, and they're like, how do you do that? That's crazy.
Right.
And I just say a lot of time and effort, I guess.
Yeah. You're young. You got a lot of things, and I think it's great you have a goal.
Yeah.
First of all, a lot of kids don't have goals right now.
Yeah, good to have goals.
Yeah, they're just like not insecure, but they really don't care to even think of a goal.
It's hard to picture the future sometimes and what you want to do.
But now, that being said, Do you see yourself being a coach someday?
Yes, actually next year after I graduate, I'm going to come on as an assistant coach at Grand Valley.
Okay.
So I'll coach there and maybe do some online coaching for some high school kids and stuff like that.
And then on top of that, work for the going into the World Cups and that.
Yeah. So I'm going to train as a full-time professional athlete as well as help out and coach at Grand Valley.
How hard is that going to be when you start coaching, not out there competing? That's going to be
It's
tough.
difficult. I've already kind of transitioned a little bit this year. I've helped out with practices, and I've had a couple groups where I help coach and just break down technique and stuff. And sometimes it's challenging just because I am the same age as a lot of my other teammates, and I'm transitioning into that role of being a coach. So it's kind of breaking that line of I'm your coach now. I'm not just your teammate, or I am your teammate, and trying to coach.
You have a pretty good gal coming up, kind of following you up in the shop.
Yeah, we have some good athletes coming in. Not a whole lot of discus throwers at the moment, so it's kind of a tough one. But we have some good hammer throwers, some good shot putters, a lot of good males on our team, so that's nice.
Tell us about Grand Valley. Positives of going to Grand Valley.
I love it. I've been telling people recently I majored in track and field, and I minored in criminal justice. That was my degree that I'm getting, and best coaches that I've ever had. I think our head coach, Coach Jerry Baltez, he really cares about his athletes, and he wants everybody to be successful, and he wants not just to build good athletes, but to build good people. And I believe my throws coach is the same way. At the end of the day, we're just throwing a heavy ball or throwing a heavy disc, and it's not the end of the world. It's not everything all be all. And he prides himself on those relationships, and I love that. I love having a relationship with my coach and being able to trust him and just have a conversation like this. So,
now, how old a fellow would he be?
He's in his 40s.
All right. So where'd he come from then?
He is from Ohio originally.
Okay.
He's coached at a lot of different schools: Minnesota, California, Virginia schools, I believe, and he's been doing this for a really long time. He kind of started really, really low, working 5 jobs, trying to coach, just figuring everything out. But he went to a lot of training camps with a lot of coaches, a lot of famous coaches, ex-pros and stuff like that, who really shaped who he is as a coach and guided him in all of his expertise and knowledge. So,
what sports did he play? Did you ever hear?
Football, track and field, basketball, stuff like that. The
played
typical.
it all.
Yeah.
Where'd he go to college then?
I believe,
I'm asking a lot of questions. If you don't know,
yeah, I don't know exactly where he went to college. I don't know if we've ever had that conversation. We probably have, and I just forgot.
What did he talk to you about? Was it all track and field he talked about, or did he ever talk about life in general? Or?
No, I've had a lot of life lessons with him. The transition of having roommates and going to being a freshman in college, and just how to be a good teammate. And not that I wasn't a good teammate, but I was a very quiet kid coming out of high school. Didn't talk to a lot of people. Didn't feel the need to. When I got there, I wanted to do school. I wanted to do track, and then I wanted to graduate. I didn't see anything else. And he kind of shaped me into thinking oh, you can be a really good leader if you just kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And a lot of people look up to you. A lot of people dictate their energy based off your energy at practices and stuff like that. So me having to take a step back and be okay, I need to check myself at the door if I'm having a bad day, or if I had a stressful class or a test or whatever. And he's kind of taught me that, a lot of perspective, a lot of have some patience and things like that, and just be the person that you would have wanted to look up to.
So if you was to summarize a little bit of your life, if it wasn't for sports, you wouldn't be Erica Beisel right now, the Erica that we're looking at and talking to right now. You'd more be an introvert.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And so sports is really a gift that God gave you.
Yeah.
And then you found out that that's what really God, I know you believe in God, and I know you thank God for all your accomplishments. But, I find it funny that this sports show that I've always wanted to do one here in town, and to spotlight people. And actually it was at the other radio station we started it, and then that kind of fell through and brought it over here. And I was very fortunate that Jen and Dom did it. I didn't do it for myself. I did it to show the community what athletes are really made about, and how it's improved their life. And you today, I want younger people to listen to your story, and I'd love to have you speak at like at St. Mary's someday to the girls, because we could expand on this conversation all day, but life is hard.
Very.
Even at the top.
Yep. It is. Expectations can be very hard sometimes.
Yeah. And the only thing you have to do is understand that you're limited. God gives you the chance. Obviously, everybody has that chance, but not everybody's fortunate as you. And that's why for younger people coming up, they should listen to Erica's story, because if that one coach, Seltzer, and his wife wouldn't have grabbed you and said, you can do this, you'd probably be a cop right now, right?
I probably would be, yeah, 100%.
And giving tickets out.
Oh, yeah.
And upsetting people.
I'm probably not as happy as I am right now, so.
Right. But, if you were to go to speak to a young group of girls that are in basketball, volleyball, and all this and that, what would you talk to them about? What would you say to them?
One thing for me, and I know it's a big thing, is social media is, it's out there. You see it. You see posts about people, and you see what mainstream media has posted and all these things. And my advice is that that's all noise, right? All those thoughts, all those opinions, all those pictures don't matter. What you're doing in your life and the choices you make matter. So, show up and be a good person, show up and be a hard worker, and show up and be a disciplined person. Because in the end, that's going to make you successful, not what everybody else thinks or what everybody else says. Don't let those words affect you. That's kind of my message. And I've started a lot of body positivity stuff on my social media, and I just want young girls to, be accepting of who they are and the body that they were given, and what they're able to do in sports and athletics, because it's like you said, it's a once in a lifetime thing to be able to get to do sports, and it's very fun, so make it fun.
Well, now you're set up there where you've proven your ability's gotten you there, right. But you've proven to be a good person on top of that. Like you said, talk about social media a little bit. It's really sad for what people put on there, and that's the devil's work. I really, it's gotten out of hand. I don't know how we're going to correct that.
I don't either.
But
try not to think about it, I guess.
These poor little girls, though, can be so mean to other little girls. What do you say to a little girl that's being bullied? What would you say to them? I know, everybody wants to be popular. I always tell my two little granddaughters, Kay and Maddie, be yourself, and if they like you, that's good. But if they don't, still love yourself. Mm-hmm. Be you. Don't try to change. When you go into high school, don't try to be the queen of the class. You be yourself.
Yeah.
And that will comfort you. Yeah. I know it's easier said than done, but it's true, isn't it? Just be yourself. So when you went in high school, from little school to St. Mary's, how many girls were in your class?
Oh gosh, I think 5 of us.
Yeah.
Total.
So did you know any middle school girls going into high school?
From
did
public
you know
school
a lot?
Or whatever?
Yeah.
Not really. The thing that I feel like I would tell a lot of people is a lot of that kind of, from my perspective, stems from jealousy, and people are always going to be jealous. So just stay in your lane and do your thing.
How did you do that? How did you do it?
It was tough. But I think for me growing up, I didn't have all that, so it didn't.
Oh, you
it
didn't.
didn't mean as the words didn't affect me as much, stuff like that. I didn't really have that until high school, and I think high school is where, the jealousy thing starts to come in. People start looking at you and oh well, I don't like that person, so I'm gonna be mean to them or whatever. Or they have more than I do, so I'm gonna be mean to them, and just rise above and be the better person and be nicer. I think that's what's gotten me this far, is in life you're not always going to have people that like you. You're not always going to see eye to eye with people. You're not always going to have the same perspective, but just be a nice person, be a kind person, and eventually that'll show, and people will see that. So
how about how did you do your freshman year in high school? Nobody bullied you, right?
No.
Did you ever go home and cry and say, I wished I didn't go to that school, or Did you ever?
No,
have
we
those
didn't cry a lot in my family. So
Okay.
Not a lot of crying happens.
Good for you.
We were
Good
supposed
for
to
you.
be
But a lot of kids do.
Tough kids, yeah.
But did you ever confide in your mother at all with problems that you incurred in high school at all?
I didn't. No, never
Didn't have
really.
to?
No, if I was having problems, I just tried to tough it out because I
Good
feel
for
like that's
you.
just how I grew up. Was
Yeah.
just tough it out and.
Well, that's what we kind of did
Yeah.
too. It is the best way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you think, oh, God, couldn't somebody just bear hug me? But hey, it's 9:30 already. We're going to take a break. It's been very fun morning with Erica Beisel here from Grand Valley State in St. Mary's and Big Rapids Public Schools.
Right.
So, I mean, she's a third dimensional girl, right?
There you go.
So we'll be right back.
All right, here on Curry's Hot Stove League, B1039. Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curry's Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
It's snowing. Again. And the last thing you want is to have to deal with that old clunky snowblower that might not even start. Or perhaps you've been told that shoveling is not a very good idea for you. Well, wouldn't you like to have the peace of mind knowing that your driveway and walks will be taken care of? M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing wants to give you that peace of mind. No matter how long or short your driveway is, M&M can take care of it. If you just want snow plowing and walk shoveling, or if you like the full treatment with a layer of salt, they can do that as well. If you're a business owner, you know that an unplowed parking lot means lost revenue. Let M&M take care of it before your doors open. Remember, customers on the plow list get first priority when the snow comes. All it takes is a phone call to M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, 231-796-4956. When winter rears its ugly head, and it will, take comfort that M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing is here to serve you.
Hooked at Curry.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Their sandwiches are incredible. But get the cheeseburger with caramelized onions. You won't ask where the beef is.
All right, we're with Eric Beisel here, Grand Valley shot putter, javelin thrower, a record holder. Wow, I mean, you think about it, Erica, when you went to St. Mary's, we talked a little bit about that, and your teachers, Mrs. Cooley and Mrs. Matheson, how important they were to you, and you learned your discipline there, and your strength of your character, right?
Yeah.
And you were pretty confident leaving St. Mary's, and you went to Big Rapids High and got into athletics, the track and field, and how important seltzers were to you. I just want to make sure we give everybody credit's due. You went on to college in Grand Valley. Was that the only college that picked at you or recruited you?
There were a couple others that recruited me, but nothing ever caught my eye. I didn't want to go too far away from home, but just far enough to where I could move away and be on my own type of thing. So
I always tell my age, and I got to quit doing that. But I can remember Grand Valley right there in Allentown there, how small it was. And this last year, the wife and I went down to Hudsonville there, and we took the back way. And I know it sounds like really the back way, but we went through Coopersville. We ended up in Holland. But, boy, that has really grown.
it has grown a lot, yeah.
I mean, that used to have a gas station and a restaurant and a post office. I don't even know if that was there then. But
Now it's got everything.
Oh, my Lord, and the
yeah.
housing.
Yeah, the admissions last year was so high, they didn't have enough room for kids on campus. So they were having to rent out apartment buildings and stuff just so
Wow.
kids had somewhere to go. Like, that's how expansive it's gotten. So it's,
Why? What happened there? We're going down here, and they're going up. What's the difference here?
I don't know. I guess people just like Grand Valley.
What do you go there for an education? They have what?
I'm doing criminal justice right now.
Okay.
So I did criminal justice, minor in sociology, and a certificate in communications and leadership. So
You would tell everybody to go to Grand Valley because of your just experience has been overwhelmingly positive, huh?
yeah, I mean, I think it's a great campus. There's a lot of great students and a lot of great opportunities on campus. My experience with my professors has been amazing. I've had a lot of amazing CJ professors and a lot of professors that come from the CJ field. So like learning about their experiences and their stories and stuff like that, you just connect with them on a different level. And I think that's why I loved my time here, is just because all my professors were amazing. So I think that makes half the battle. When you're going to your classes and you like your professor, it's worth it to me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Isn't that something, Bob? She should be a good advertiser for Grand Valley State. John Coles is down there. You ever see John down there at all?
A couple times, yeah. We talk briefly every once in a while.
Oh, do you?
When we bump into each other, yeah.
Yeah. So, like you've been there 4 years, you say?
5 years.
5 years?
This is my last year. Yep, 5th year.
So after this year, you're going to do what now?
So 2 weeks ago, after indoor nationals concluded and wrapped up,
Where's that at?
we had nationals in Virginia Beach 2 weeks ago. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, didn't go the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. I had a really good run for 4 years, 5 years, so wasn't too mad about it. But the week after, I was like, man, I got to get this whole professional thing figured out as soon as possible. And I started talking and reaching out to throwers that I've competed against, professional throwers that are in the business and who have the agent that I wanted to pursue and stuff like that. So making a lot of phone calls, like I said, and just reaching out to people. And about a week and a half ago, I signed with an agent. So they will help facilitate travel and lodging and get me into what's called the Diamond League for track and field. So like the NFL, we compete in the Diamond League. So this is championships and meets in Europe and China and places like that. So eventually I'll be traveling all over the world and competing and making some money along the way. But so that's the goal right now. Do this full time, compete, earn money that way, maybe get some sponsorship deals and maybe sign with Nike or a brand like that. And then, so World
where are you
Championships
going,
in LA 28.
Where are you going, like next week? What will you be doing?
So next week I'm going out to Oklahoma. I don't have any Diamond League meets set up right now just because I have to be accepted into the Diamond League. It's a process. But I just got back from Arizona over the weekend and had a meet out there as their first annual, it's called the Winter Long Throws National Championships. So discus, hammer, javelin. We all went out there and had a meet. It was a lot of fun. It was hot. It was warm. Ended up taking second, so made some money and got a medal to take home, and so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, really, a lot of competition there. The best of the best.
So I placed second under our world record holder, so Valerie Allman. So I placed second under her.
Wow. So, but you got the GLIAC's record.
Yep.
And you got what other record in the Division II?
GV's school records, and then both D2 national records for shot put and discus.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What did so you go out there, and then every week you got to go someplace, or
every couple of weeks? Try to. I'll take a week off here and there. The professional season goes so long into the summer. Usually our track season for a college athlete starts in March, right after indoors, and then goes till about May. At the end of the May, you have national championships, whereas the professional circuit goes until August. So you start April, May, and then you go all the way until August. So trying to pace myself a little bit. The last couple of years have been a little bit of a burnout for me, just having 3 seasons in a row straight all year long.
Yeah.
Not a lot of break, not a lot of time to just kind of sit back and relax. So just kind of going to pace myself this season. So.
But usually, I was going to ask you, sports like football, after the Super Bowl, everybody goes home for a few months before spring practice, summer, take some time off in summer. When is your time off on that?
Great question. I haven't had time off in a really long time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
For track and field, it's kind of hard to take a lot of time off just because the technique is so important. And, the further you get away from that, the harder it is to get back into it.
Okay.
So I'll take maybe 1 or 2 weeks off here and there. But I train all summer long, all fall, winter,
So
stuff like that.
how about you throw with your right arm, right?
Yep.
So your shoulder good? I mean, that.
Oh, I've had some issues over the years. I've had some issues. I tore my tricep 2 years ago, right after indoor nationals.
Oh, wow.
Right after I won a national title. Popped something. I was like, oh, darn. Came back to practice, and I couldn't throw. I couldn't lift anything up. I was like, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do? Rolled my ankle at the same time, so I've had issues with that. I've had issues with my thumb and my wrist and stuff. But, it's just part of the game.
Right. So do you tape yourself up pretty good?
Yep. I tape my wrist, I tape my fingers, I tape my bridge, and I wear an elbow sleeve and a wrist wrap. So for shot put. For discus, I don't really do any of that.
Motrin, you get scholarship.
Oh, yeah, lots of ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Lots of ibuprofen, yep.
Wow. So, your diet, is there a special diet for you athletes that are into that, or?
For a lot of throwers, it's just high protein. I don't necessarily track calories or anything like that. I just try and get a lot of protein in. I try to eat as healthy as possible. I don't try to go out and eat fast food and stuff like that. I try to really think about what goes into my body. But yeah, there's nothing special, I guess. Just lots of protein.
Do you have
trying to build a lot of muscle.
Though?
So.
Do you have a special drink you drink?
No, water. I drink lots of water.
How much water a day do you drink?
So I just recently bought this big gallon, Yeti gallon. I try to drink like 3 of those a day.
3 gallons a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. How about, we talked about power drinks. You don't do Red Bull, stuff like that? Or?
No, I don't really do caffeine drinks anymore. It overstimulates my nervous system, and my nervous system is already heightened a lot of the time, so I don't need the extra stimulus. So I don't really do energy drinks. I do like hydration drinks, like Liquid IV and stuff like that, just to kind of hydrate my body a little bit. Yeah, Gatorade, stuff like that, yeah.
And then do you do I already asked you, but I'm going to ask you again. There's so many different kinds of protein drinks. You just don't get into that.
I don't do like the protein powder, and maybe sometimes if I'm running behind, I'll do like a protein shake or something, but it's all like, I don't do protein powder. Like I'll do banana, peanut butter, stuff like that, oats, just stuff that's kind of natural. I don't like the way protein powder sits in my stomach and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't do creatine or anything like that.
Eggs?
Yep, lots of eggs, lots of chicken, stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah. Then, so if you were to speak, have you ever encountered an athlete that does do all those Red Bulls and stuff like that? Have you ever seen anything like that happening?
Oh yeah, we have a couple of my teammates, or former teammates, I guess you could say, who are heavy into energy drinks, and sometimes when you overdo it, it's like your body can't function properly anymore, or it's like you need it to survive, and they're at like 6 energy drinks in a day, and it's like your body can't handle that. So I try to move away from that. I don't want that in my body, because there's so many things in energy drinks that you don't know how they're going to affect you or what's in it. So I just try and stay away.
So if you were to talk to a class again, like I said, if you went into a grade school, you'd tell the kids to stick with water.
Yeah.
Don't get hooked
Water,
on
Gatorade, stuff like that. Stuff that's going to hydrate you, not necessarily stuff that's going to give you a kick for an hour and then you're going to have a crash. So
a lot of people
not
go
beneficial.
on steroids and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's so much in college, but
and we get tested for everything you put in your body. So we'll do drug testing, and even for the pro circuit, they can drug test you whenever you want. So 5 a.m. comes calling the next day, you better be ready to get drug tested. So I try to be very mindful about what I put in my body. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that. I don't even drink alcohol. So I'm trying to be very mindful of what I'm putting in my body.
Right. So you're just loving life, ain't you?
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, now you're on a kind of like a plateau that people are looking up to you. How are you handling that? Are you still humble?
Just trying to be myself. I don't try and think too much about it or think about all the success I have, because I still have so much more I want to do. So I don't think I've ever made it, if that makes sense. Like I don't think I've reached the point of my career where like, this is it. I'm amazing. I've done everything and I'm the best. Like I don't ever try and think like that. I don't think that makes for a good, successful person. So
yeah. So you said you're going to try to go to the Olympics. Have you tried yet to go to the Olympics?
It was 2 years ago. I went to the Olympic trials. I ended up placing 4th. I was an inch away from going to the Olympics.
Wow.
So I was classified as an alternate. But yeah, I was 1 inch away. Qualified at 58 meters, and I PR'd, I think, 4 times at the trials, which is kind of unheard of. I was a junior and the youngest one in the field, and had no idea what I was doing on the biggest stage of my life. But yeah, took 4th, and everything is kind of taken off from there.
How many was there competing?
I believe there was 24 of us.
Wow.
So yeah.
So I was going to ask you.
I was the only one only athlete there from Division II.
Really?
Everybody else was Division I or a professional level athlete. So.
How old are the girls up there, the ladies that are competing
all
for
the
Olympics?
Professionals right now are late 20s, 30s.
And then how long will they compete?
It depends on how long their body holds up.
Yeah,
It can be really grueling, but some people do this well into their 40s.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
So do you see yourself doing it your whole life, kind of picking it up, throwing it?
I keep telling, I want to do it as long as possible, as long as I'm, still putting up good numbers and having fun doing it, and my body's not, I'm not waking up every day hunched over and in pain. So, as long as I can, I want to do it. Eventually, I want to open up some type of gym and some type of rec space in the Grand Rapids area for high school athletes. Doesn't matter if they're track or football or whatever it is, just a space for kids to come train and work out. So I kind of want to give back in that way to my community. So
you see yourself doing that for a living more than being a policeman?
Yeah, I think so. Down the road, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I bet you that'd be great. How about doing it up here? We get that multi-purpose
we'll see.
Gym up here or whatever. We get that going there. It'd be kind of cool. So when is Olympic tryouts then? When?
2 years. So this year we have USA champs. So the following year.
So you'll work hard right up to that time. And
oh yeah.
Where's the Olympics then? Do you know? I know they know.
I believe the next one.
California.
Is LA.
Yeah.
And then
California.
after that is Australia. So.
Oh, that'd be nice too.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle the spiders, but
yeah,
we'll see.
They have a lot of them.
See,
eh?
Yeah.
But so that's your goal.
Yep.
Is to make the Olympics and hopefully
make
get
the Olympics, break some world records maybe down the road, become a world champion.
How far are you from the world record? What is the world record in shot put?
Well, I'll just be competing for discus mainly. The world record for shot put I think is like 21 or 22 meters for women, and then the discus is I believe 73 or 74, so I'm about 6 meters away.
You are?
Yeah.
And how many feet?
Which is not crazy. 20, 30 feet, something like that.
So you got that much more to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Hell,
Which every year I keep progressing, so I get a little bit closer.
Is it more
so.
technique or strength?
At this point, I feel like it's more so technique for me. I am incredibly strong, and I think strength has gotten me this far. But I think moving forward and, as I make this a career, just figuring out how to dial in my technique and just, make that really, really, really good. I think they both go hand in hand, but I think as you get older and as you move and progress, technique is definitely...
So now, going back to your coach, what was his name, Josh?
Matt Conley.
Wow, I was way off there. Matt, he was your head coach. Did he have an assistant to help you with your disc and your shot, or no? He does it all.
He pretty much does it all. We do have an assistant coach, but Matt, he pretty much runs the roost. He tries to be with every group and
where did he learn how to do that though? I still go back to technique. Like baseball, if you hit the ball right, you got pretty good bat, good eye-hand coordination. You're coordinated obviously, and you're strong enough, but the technique really comes. Is there a point where you're going to say, I got to find the best coach to be the very best? Is that very important, or do you already have that down?
I mean, I think I have that. I think a part of it is just the relationship you build with your coach. I think, yes, technique and the education behind it is 100% necessary, but I think the relationship and the trust you can build with somebody who is coaching you, not just because you can have the best coach in the world and not throw far because you guys don't connect or it doesn't make sense, or they might be exceptionally smart at what they're trying to coach you, but there's a barrier of how you learn. And so I think I've gotten to that point with my coaches. We understand each other very, very well, and I trust him with everything. And he's also very smart. He's worked really hard to get to where he is, and he's done a lot of camps and a lot of training programs, and he's been mentored by top level coaches and athletes. So I think that's a part of where his expertise comes from, is just his experience along the way. So
boy, I go back like Bob Raven and so many other Seltzers and all them. They're people. They're just people. But one thing they have in common is that they love people.
Yeah.
And want to see the best come out of some people, you know what I mean? And it sounds like that Matt's been very instrumental in your life the last 5 years.
I tell that to all of the recruits we have. I'm always like, you can go to a D1 school and you can go do that and be successful at it, but at the end of the day, are you going to look back and be like, wow, my coach made an impact in my life, or I had the opportunity to make that same impact in somebody else's life. So I think that's kind of my spiel with a bunch of recruits is go somewhere and choose somewhere that feels like home, and somewhere that feels like you have a family away from your family. Because you don't want to go somewhere and be unhappy, but it's a D1 school, so I went D1 type of thing. I never had that mentality. I still don't, and I still don't think kids should, because it shouldn't matter where or what division you go to, but it's the relationship you have with the people around you, with your coach, and what you're able to do with that. So.
Did you practice in the winter in the indoor facility down there, that football indoor facility?
Do I now, or did I?
Did you ever use that facility? Is that for
in high school? I just competed there. Now I train there every day.
In that indoor facility.
Yeah.
That's very important to Grand Valley's athletics,
yes,
isn't it?
It's our money maker for sure.
Yeah, so I know that's a big drawing card, isn't it? So they use that for football and track.
Soccer, lacrosse, pretty much anything. Baseball.
Pretty nice facility. I've never been in it, but yeah. Ferris is trying to get one. I guess.
I've seen the renderings.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they got one. How important is that to Grand Valley?
Very important. I think from a financial standpoint, the university can only do so much for sports, right? But it's like, what can the athletic program do for itself? We're able to host a lot of track and field meets, a lot of high school meets, a lot of home college meets for our season, and that brings in a lot of money. So that brings in money that we're able to travel with in our outdoor season, go to places like Texas and California and compete against D1 athletes and, have that experience. And so I think that facility gives us the opportunity to, one, put us in the best position possible financially, and then put us in the best position possible competition-wise. So.
Big impact on the economics down there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to get the people about Ferris having one of those. It's be a big impact to Big Rapids to have that facility. But does their softball team practice in there too?
Oh yeah. Yep.
See, now look where they're at.
Yep.
Top of the league, aren't they?
I believe so. Somewhere up there.
I think they just beat Ferris.
Baseball's doing really good too. Our baseball program, yeah, they've kind of stepped their way up a little bit.
See, without that, they wouldn't be able to practice.
No, and I think in a couple of years they're trying to add on behind the facility somewhere where they can just have hitting cages and stuff like that, so that we can take all that out of the facility that we have now. Facility all the time, because right now, with all the sports that we have, the timing can get really tight, and you get so much time. So the more buildings you have, the more space you have, the more time all those teams get to compete and train in there. So
Grand Valley, they have a lot of pride down there, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
As we do at Ferris too. But they have the facility to make them successful. They really put their money up there and done a great job down there. But like our Ferris softball team, like they're pretty good, well coached. That guy's a really passionate guy and very knows the game really well. But he doesn't have an indoor facility.
No, makes it difficult.
And to compete with Grand Valley, it's almost like apples and oranges, because we have the quality of people, we have great athletes, but they ain't out there like.
Yeah, it's getting those training hours in.
Yeah,
it makes it hard.
Yeah,
we're very fortunate. Very, very fortunate.
Yeah. So you used it a lot then when you.
Yeah, I keep telling our head coach right now that we need to open up and get a bigger ceiling, because I'm throwing so far and so high now that I'm hitting the beams and stuff.
Oh, really?
I'm like, dang, we gotta open this up a little bit. I could spend some of that money, but yeah. No, it's been awesome.
You've accomplished a lot coming from that little school of St. Mary's. You should go over there and talk to those kids. I know Mrs. Mathewson would probably love that, and Mrs. Cooley, and tell those girls, you pursue your goal, man. I'm doing mine. You can do it too. What would you say to the world? What's great about America? What would you say if the most positive thing in America has given you?
I think it's just the freedoms to make the choices that we want to make. I think that's one of the big things that I've learned throughout my time at Grand Valley and stuff like that, is the world's full of choices, and it's what you do with them. And I think we have those freedoms to make those choices and the choices that we want. So.
Yeah. Well, God bless you. It went fast, didn't it, Bob? You're going to give her a sports girl of the sports person of the week, the Zots Bar and Grill.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
And you get a hamburger out of that. You got to buy your own beer.
Perfect.
No, they'll take care of you. You've been to Zots.
I have.
Oh
yes.
yeah, they have great soups. Oh my God, their beef barley was great the other night. I had that. And what's really nice about Zots Bar is when Doug buys me a beer, or my brother Joe buys me a lunch. It's always somebody it just tastes better when somebody buys you that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Somebody else buys it when somebody else makes it. It's always better.
So you're going to get a coupon today, a gift card.
We're going to get it
Zots
to her.
Bar and Grill, huh?
Yeah, we'll have to get it to her.
Yeah, you have to give it to her. Any last words from the wisdom of...
Just thanks for letting me come on here and chat about my experience.
God bless you. Somebody said, what are you going to talk about? I said, I'm going to talk about her. I think we got to know Erica a little bit better today. And
heard
really
a little bit of my
appreciate you
story.
coming on. Well, I'll tell you what, it's important because like I said, I got 2 granddaughters, and I love America. Mm-hmm. And like you just said, it's there. You got to pursue it. And the biggest thing is stay confident within yourself.
Yes.
Because nobody
100%.
can give you that.
Yep.
Mom and dad can bring you up tough and all that, but it's really right in the gut that you get it from, and if you have a big heart, you can do it. But I want to congratulate you. Hopefully we'll be putting you on the marquee. I know when you did a few of those accomplished things we did, I saw Matt put it up there.
Yeah.
Congratulating you and stuff. I've known your family for years. Mm-hmm. Well respected here in Big Rapids, hardworking Americans, and that's all God wants us to be, right?
Yes, 100%.
Right. Well, God bless America. God bless Jen and Dom for allowing us to be here on the Big Boys 103.9 with the Bob Aldrich.
WBZX Big Rapids.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank
you,
Appreciate
Jess.
it.
Erica. Thank
It's
you.
snowing.
Bye-bye.
Again. And the last thing you want is to have to deal with that old clunky snowblower that might not even start. Or perhaps you've been told that shoveling is not a very good idea for you. Well, wouldn't you like to have the peace of mind knowing that your driveway and walks will be taken care of? M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing wants to give you that peace of mind. No matter how long or short your driveway is, M&M can take care of it. If you just want snow plowing and walk shoveling, or if you like the full treatment with a layer of salt, they can do that as well. If you're a business owner, you know that an unplowed parking lot means lost revenue. Let M&M take care of it before your doors open. Remember, customers on the plow list get first priority when the snow comes. All it takes is a phone call to M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, 231-796-4956. When winter rears its ugly head, and it will, take comfort that M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing is here to serve you.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Come say cheers in Zott's Bar and Grill. Downtown Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people. So come on down where everybody knows your name. Zott's Bar and Grill, the People's Choice Best Soup winner. The burgers are where it's at. Originally opened in 1933 with seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Zott's Bar and Grill is a proud sponsor of the Signature Player of the Week for the Hot Stove Sports League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.